Good evening, everyone. This is Vinod from myself Academy, and you are watching YouTube channel Excel Snippet, video number 5. In today's topic, we are about to see the two important functions in Excel. One is a table function, another one is a vlookup function in Excel. We will see them in detail right now. What is a table function? A table function allows us to make our data work in a dynamic way. So, if you want to add multiple data structure to a list and you want to add formula once to it, and then you don't want to deal with the formula again as the data grows for you, your formula should automatically update the total valuation of it. Then your swap shop will be our table function. In the olden day functionalities, maybe if you are using a version in 2003 or below than that, we use the function called offset function. I'll be doing a video on offset function soon, and again, this is a far more easier tool to use as the Excel users are having a lot of data to work around. So table function is one of the best tool used by the system. So it is introduced in 2007 version, and after that this has become a very big tool right now, and this saves a lot of time for many people. Those who don't want to use an offset function probably may choose table functionality. So let's see how to add a table function. So where this table function will be available. So let's go to the table. So now I have a table in here on my sheet, and you can see that this is we have around 10 to 12 columns in here. So we have an invoice number, we have a date, country, state, city, sales rep, customer, product, purchase cost, and selling price, and so on. Now I want to add a line item here. So I want to give a total in here. Normally, if you do a total here, so what we will do is we will either add a total at the bottom of a screen, or for an example, I'm trying to add a total of these two onto my rate. So I'm going to create a new table here. I did one small change in here. So once you have copied and pasted the value, the cell hasn't expanded according to the data structure. To expand the data structure, I gave a keyboard shortcut here called Alt OCA, and I use this shortcut. This belongs to 2003 version. If you want to do that without using a keyboard shortcut, even if if it is tough for you to remember a particular keyboard shortcut, then I can do that using a mouse functionality. Just go to your home tab and go to your format, and you have a line here called autofit column width. So when you click that, it does the same, and we do have a shortcut for this if you want to achieve this in the current version. So if you're using maybe a 2010 version, or maybe a 13 or 16 or 19 or Office 365 version, you can do them very easily. Just press an Alt button once, and then you can see the keyboard shortcuts pop up for each and every menu. Press the H. So now we got the home tab, and inside the home tab you got the list, and you want to give an O that goes to your format, and you can give an I to expand it. So in the old keyboard shortcut will be Alt O C A, and if you want me to explain this, there's nothing else. Format, column, and autofill. This belongs to 2003 version, and if you're using in a brand new version, so you have to use Alt, and then you have to press H, and then O, and then I. This allows you to get the list. So I'll do it again. Alt H O and then I. This gives you the keyboard shortcut for the current version. So you can try this in 2010 to 2019, or even in Office 365 version. So this is how the keyboard shortcut varies for each and every point. I'm going to just make it a little bigger and bolder here. So now I want to get a total in. So normally if I want to hit a total, I'll just use a sum functionality here, or I can use a keyboard shortcut for the sum function using Alt equals. So if I use an Alt equals here, so automatically it pops up the some functionality, but I have to choose the range accordingly. So I'm going to give the purchase cost, and I'm going to use the same alt equals functionality for the selling price. So now I got my list, and if I am adding a new invoice, for example, I'm raising another bill for another customer, or maybe one of the customer here. So let me just repeat the same day. I'm going to repeat one more line item here, and I'm going to just change the bill number. Again, I just selected the whole column by using a shift control and arrow mark, so that allowed us to choose the cell. So you use the arrow marks accordingly, because I just used from the leftmost to the right. And if you want to change them, or if I want to use some other point, you can use that. This allows you to select the entire row. I used arrow, but I didn't specify which arrow, so according to the usage where the cursor point is, you can use them accordingly. And I just copied the entire column to the next line, so I just gave the Control D. We have already seen how to use a columnar population of data. So I used the previous shortcut that we are regularly using in our list. Then I've just changed the invoice number alone. Now if you closely watch, there is no change in my purchase cost total or selling price total. So if you just go back to your purchase cost and hit an F2 edit button, you can see that there's one line short. So I want to manually drag the line to make the total run through. So if I'm making a bill continuously, and if my invoice is raised for multiple line items, then I need this total to go automatically. So if I want to do that, so let's see how to do that. So I'm going to just go back to my list here, remove this again, and now I'm going to change this normal table into a dynamic table. To do that, I can either use a keyboard shortcut called Control T for our total. This allows you to bring or convert a range of data into a table using a Control T option to do it. And or you can just try to use the insert tab, place the cursor wherever you want in your data point, and then hit a table button. Then it pops up a box in here for us and says that this is the range that I'm going to add a table to you. And if the table has a header, so it automatically gives a check mark in my table has a header. When I give an OK, you can see automatically now it's converted into a table part. Let me just do it again. This is taking only the data part. I'm not sure about why it is not taking the data correctly. So, but I have but the coloring is not properly coming up here. So let me just go back to my list, go to the table, let me add a color to it. So the coloring part is happening only to the first line, so I think that I have a formula in here. Data are perfect. So let me undo this and let me clear this. Let me have the data here. So I'm going to just take it as Control T. Enter. Here we go. Yeah, I got my list. So let me change this to a tabular column. Yeah, I have a table right now. My table features is added in here. So now I'm going to add one more line. To add another line, I'm going to just hit a tab after placing the last set point. When I give an enter, you can see that the table is automatically added. Now I'm going to add one date to our list and add the entire data structure. So let me just remove this again. I've added a table right now, so now my table is named as table 3. So how you get this information is just place the cursor in any one of the cell in the table, and you can see the table design pops up to us on top, and on the left hand side you can see that it is given as table 3. Now I'm going to just change this as invoices. So now I'm going to just go back to my list here, and I'm going to just take equals sum tab and come down in here, and you can see that automatically now in the invoice table this is the purchase cost. So when I give an enter, it takes the first value. Now I'm going to just take the whole list of the column here. I'm going to take the purchase cost. Enter, and now I'm going to do the same for sum and the sales price. So now I got my list in here, and if you closely watch, I'm going to just make it a little bigger for us so that you can see what's the change that is happening in here. So now I'm going to add a new line item here. So I'm going to just place the cursor on the last cell that is available for us in the selling price. When I give a tab, see I have another line coming up here, and I'm going to just add this list. When I add the list, you can see automatically my purchase cost valuation has been changed, and the selling price value has also changed. So now I undo this once, and just make these two data available in the next cell so I can just show you whether it's changing or not. So just converted these two formulas into a value. To the last line, tab 16 1 2015, then add the entire column. Next line, you can see that I have a new total altogether in my purchase cost and price. So when you use a table functionality, you don't want to use a formula forever. You can just add it once to your side, and then as you add new data to it at the bottom of your screen, let's see, automatically this is going to fetch your data for us. So for example, if I'm going to just copy paste this at the bottom of the screen, let's see what happens. My table is automatically populated, and you can see my answers are changing. As my answer is not visible for me in the purchase cost, I'm going to give an Alt OCA, or I can use Alt HOI, which expands my column. So this is how I can keep one formula added, and I can just create the entire formula list clearly. Some people may not need a formula at the bottom of the screen. So sometimes when you want to create a formula, people wish to have it at the bottom of the screen, not on the right hand side as I did on the screen. So if you want to do that, so you don't want to really sweat more, you don't want to create a formula there, just go back to your table design and give a tick mark in your total rows. See, automatically it adds total row. But unfortunately, it adds total row only to the last line, not for all the lines. If you are looking for both the lines, then the formula that we have developed in here will be the good solution for us. Now I'm going to just uncheck that. So it gives you only one total at the last. It's not giving you both the totals, but if you want both totals to appear, so whatever we have used in here, if you use that, that would be great. So this is how we will use our table functionality. So I'm going to do one more video on vlookup after this. I will clear this today, and with this we will end our table functionality. Hope you have learned something new, or you have improvised something new using a table functionality. This is Vinod signing out from myself Academy and YouTube channel Excel Snippet video number 5. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead, and stay home and stay safe. We had extended our lockdown for another 15 days more. Stay safe again. Thank you so much. Bye bye.